Marina Walker Guevara spoke to Marquette students about her Pulitzer Prize-winning story, The Panama Papers.
There is soon to be more fresh produce on campus after one student is growing their own gardens.
3 MU organizations joined together to protest outside the Title IX office.
Can this happen in Milwaukee? Absolutely.
And we hear from Dr. Xavier Cole about his letter to the Marquette community about Charlottesville. It's all happening tonight on Marquette Now.
Good evening, Marquette. This is Marquette Now, and I'm Ricky Labrada.
And I'm Grace Terry. Tonight, we have the latest on Marquette's campus and around Milwaukee. Last Friday, Marquette Empowerment, Young Democratic Socialists, and College Democrats joined together for a sit-in hosted outside the Title IX office in protest of the office handling of the Jane Doe sexual assault case back in 2014. The sit-in was supposed to take place inside the office, but the students were denied entry by university officials. The organizations are seeking support from the university's Board of Trustees.
Now a Category 5 storm, Hurricane Maria is approaching Puerto Rico at full force, and many students from the island fear what could happen to their homes. Hurricane Irma struck Ali de Luca's home, and she is afraid the effects of Hurricane Maria will be worse. With the recent surges of these major storms, Haley Newby, a senior in the Klinger College of Arts and Sciences, is helping raise funds after seeing the effects of these hurricanes had on students. Newby states, quote, "People are going to be feeling the effects of Harvey and Irma for years to come. Donating to hurricane relief is what we need to do right now."
On Monday, Coughlin Hall opened a brand new facility for the Employee Wellness Center after having discussed the need for the center since 2004. It is located on the first floor of Coughlin Hall, and once employees sign a waiver, they are guaranteed constant swipe access. Unfortunately, students will not have access to the space as it is solely meant for faculty and staff. The Wellness Center offers many recreational activities for the staff to participate in, including meditation, yoga, and kickboxing.
Imagine working with 367 other people to analyze 11.5 million documents. This is what Maria Walker Guevara did to write the Pulitzer Prize-winning Panama Papers. Guevara spoke at the AMU this past Tuesday at the 2017 Burleigh Media Ethics Lecture.
Marina managed this team, comprised of newsrooms from 6 continents, each with diverse cultural norms and practices, to come together for a common good and global impact. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marina Walker Guevara.
Okay, so the Panama Papers and how this whole thing started. So these are Bastian Obermeier and Frederick Obermeier. They share a last name, but they are not related. They both work at the German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung, and I had also never heard of that paper until this whole thing started. And one day, as Bastian was at home and sick, a source contacted them. Oh, this is John Doe, interested in data. And of course, this is a made-up name, just a generic name. Bastian, thankfully, said immediately, yes, I'm interested, of course. I'm very interested. The next question was like, you know, how much data are we talking about? More than anything that you have ever seen. And then, of course, the most important question, why are you doing this? It's a very normal and important question to ask. I want to make these crimes public. That was the motivation. How it all started, and eventually the 11.5 million files that comprise the Panama Papers were transmitted to Süddeutsche Zeitung. They came to us, they said, okay, let's go to ICIJ, let's activate the network, the people that we work with, that we trust. We made a number of 376 big decisions next, which was who we work with, who we invite to this collaboration.
After the Panama Papers was published, there are more than 6,500 individuals and companies currently under investigation in 79 different countries. Also, they recovered 120 multi-million US dollars. Also, legislative changes happened in Mongolia, Taiwan, Panama, and Nueva Zelanda. Now you can read the full Panama Papers series on the Pulitzer website or ICIJ.org. In the Alumni Memorial Union, Amelia Jones, Marquette Wire News.
Guevara is currently working in the midst of her next investigative project.
Most people would view the NFL and other sports leagues' ban on carrying seat cushions as an inconvenience, but Kevin Brower saw this as an opportunity. The junior in the College of Business Administration co-runs a company called Commodios, which produces padded compression shorts. Brower co-runs the company with the inventor Sohail Bedran. Commodios launched a Kickstarter campaign on September 13th with the goal of $22,000. $1,000 was pledged after 24 hours. Currently, Commodios has nearly $3,000 pledged. If the campaign is successful, the plan is for Commodios to begin production.
Coming up after the break, we recently sat down with Dr. Xavier Cole to ask him about his letter and Charlottesville.
And soon, Milwaukeeans will be able to drink coffee with furry friends. Plus, Jack Ryan has your weather update.
Welcome back to Marquette Now. I'm Ricky Labrada.
And I'm Grace Terry. Here's what's happening on Marquette's campus. Monday evening, Marquette partnered with the American Anthropological Association to host the Understanding Race After Charlottesville event. About 100 students and faculty were in attendance at this event, which featured a 22-minute documentary on Charlottesville and a long discussion on race in today's world. Coordinators of the event hope the program encouraged Marquette students to embrace unity both on campus and in everyday life. Earlier this month, Executive News Editor Jennifer Walter sat down with Dr. Xavier Cole to talk about the protests at Charlottesville and his letter to the Marquette community.
Can this happen in Milwaukee? Absolutely. Will it happen? Time will tell. I think what we as people, and I say we, but not knowing where people stand on these issues, but I know those who believe in the mission that we espouse here at Marquette, a Jesuit Catholic mission around social justice, peace, reconciliation, truth, the search for truth, bringing all into community the spirit of invitation that is the Ignatian way, how we think about preferential treatment for the poor, whom we invite into our community, intentional ways that we're trying to diversify, intentional ways that we're trying to bring first-generation students into this Marquette experience. That mission is counter to that type of hate and exclusion that's going on right now out in the world.
President's Hall director who was hit by a car is expected to return to work in October. Laura Klinger, the hall director for Evans Scholar House, was struck by a car on Wells Street late August. The collision broke her leg in 2 places and caused damages to her face from hitting the windshield. The incident caused Marquette to partner with the Slow Down campaign in an effort to make the campus safer. Klinger is expected to make a full recovery, but MUPD is urging students to be careful crossing the streets.
Officials have just announced a proposition for opening Sip and Purr, Milwaukee's very first cat cafe. It will be a cafe and a neighborhood adoption center. The cafe will partner with Lakeland Animal Shelter in Elkhorn, giving its customers the opportunity to bond or adopt with a furry friend. It is said to open in the city of Milwaukee once a location for the cafe has been found.
Walk outside of the Weisler Auditorium and you may notice something new. One student has been planting gardens on campus as part of an ongoing effort to promote the growing of fresh food. Caroline White of the Marquette Wire toured one of these gardens to learn more.
My name is Caroline White. I'm here at the West Town Square Gardens here with Aiden Flanagan, who is a leader in this developing project. So we're here to do a little walk and talk, see if he can tell us a little bit about the project. So Aiden, can you show me a little bit around different plants you have growing here?
So if we look at this bed, we have a row of tomatoes, and then all the way around the perimeter we have marigolds. Up and down you'll see that we have some plants interspersed in here. Those are lettuce and spinach and some radishes that are interspersed. And then over in this bed, it looks like it's kind of been overtaken by squash and more marigolds. The marigolds are meant to keep the rabbits out, but it's been a little difficult considering that they've chomped down on these ones over here.
So how are you trying to integrate the community or the Marquette classrooms into this project that you have going on right now?
So really interesting. If you look over here, this box that's up against the wall, that's actually meant for research. This is an electrical conduit that's feeding in 2 lines into these 2 boxes. You will see on October 3rd when we have our homecoming event that there's going to have sensors in each of these plots and that's led by Dr. Anthony Parlari. This has been a 2-year-long project, and this is just the beginning. I hope that everyone sticks with us, and the more support we can get from the student body, the better. The more that we can show that this is something that everyone's interested in, I think everyone will benefit from it. Milwaukee and Marquette. Near West Side, the neighborhood association, they're interested in seeing this grow as well. Keeping these plots here and adding on to our initiative over at Wild Commons. If we all can get behind it, that's what I want to see.
Aiden hopes to transplant these gardens to the Wild Commons when the dorm opens next year.
The AMU, the place for on-campus information seekers and coffee brew lovers, might just be one that you'll need to escape in this case. Late Night Marquette hosted a series of miniature sets designed by Larry Voles, known as Marquette Escape Rooms. Inspiration from movies and other media is drawn to create the set.
Hi, my name is Michaela Hirschman, and I'm an arts and entertainment reporter for the Marquette Wire. Tonight at Late Night Marquette, we're going to be doing the escape room in room 252 in the AMU.
Well, welcome everyone to NanoGen Enterprises. NanoGen Enterprises, as you may remember, is the inventor of the nanovirus. We invented the nanovirus back in the year 2117. We're in the future now, it's kind of cool. Inside of this room, we have a biohazard reprogramming device. And if you can find 5 cables and find the information on where to place those cables inside of that biohazard reprogramming device and push that flashing red button, it should reprogram them instantaneously, saving the world. You guys up for saving the world?
Here, participants were using the clues found around the room, such as pictures and a color chart, to open the locks. This allowed them to obtain vials from various cases. The numerous vials had specific lettering on them to get the code. After participants got the code, they had to call the number given and repeat it correctly. Yeah! Where did you come up for the escape theme?
The escape theme, like which you mean the different themes in general that I do?
Yeah,
or?
like,
Sure. Well, basically anything that you might see in a movie is fair game for an escape room, because it's like living in a movie. And like we have a zombie theme here, and another one we've got one that's very like Harry Potter, we call it School of Wizardry. Got another one we have to defuse a bomb. So any stories at all, I just look at stories from movies and books and say, what would I want to live and do? And so that we just take it from there.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun and it was challenging, a good thing for my friends and I to do.
Have you done one before?
Yeah, I did one before in Milwaukee, and this was pretty comparable to it. Definitely as challenging. It took us longer to complete this one than it did to complete the other one that we did.
And would you do it again?
Yes, I definitely would do it again.
Awesome. This is Michaela Hirschman from Marquette Wire signing off.
Late Night Marquette hosts many free events every weekend for students. For more information, visit latenightmu.squarespace.com.
Now, Jack Ryan has your weather update. Tell us, Jack, are we going to be feeling that fall weather soon?
We will not be feeling that fall weather. It will still be really hot temperatures for this late in September, but if you're okay with that, then this weather is perfect for you. Today, it was very warm and sunny in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and around Marquette with clear skies and the temperature around 78 degrees today. It was a little windy with winds around 17 miles per hour, but overall for this late in September, it was a great sunny day. Tomorrow, though, we will not be experiencing that sun that we have been experiencing for the past couple days. We will have thunderstorms with the temperature around 82 degrees. So but when you leave for the day, you might want to bring a rain jacket or an umbrella. And don't worry about that umbrella blowing away, because the winds will only be around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And then for the rest of the state of Wisconsin, everyone is experiencing pretty similar temperatures, besides Madison, Wisconsin, that had a temperature of 89 degrees today. So it was unusually hot for this time of year in late September for the people in Madison, Wisconsin to be experiencing this type of weather. And then in Eau Claire, it was 76 degrees today, so a little cooler than here in Milwaukee. And then just to the north in Wausau, it was 73 degrees. And then in Green Bay, it was 80 degrees. So all these temperatures are a little unusual for people to be experiencing this late in September. Nationally, Just to the south of us, St. Louis had a really hot day today with the temperature around 96 degrees, unusually hot for this late in September and for this time of the year. And then just in Nashville and Atlanta, in Nashville it was 86 degrees today, and then in Atlanta it was 87 degrees today, so people could still go outside and enjoy the sunny weather that they're used to. And then just to the east in Houston, they experienced a temperature around 86 degrees. And then in Denver, in the mountains, it was 76 degrees today, so they could go out to the mountains and experience the nice warm weather that they have been given in this late in September. And then in LA, it was 77 degrees today, so people had the opportunity to go outside experiencing the nice warm weather, hit the beach, hit the Santa Monica boardwalk, and experiencing the warm weather that they're used to. Surprisingly though, in the northwest part of this country, in Seattle, it was colder than the rest of the nation with a temperature around 59 degrees. So depending on who you are, you might have to bring a jacket or a sweatshirt, just depending on what you're doing for the day. But overall, the nation is experiencing extremely hot temperatures for this time of year. Ricky and Grace, that's all I have for you. That's all I have today. Take it back.
All right, thanks, Jack. Coming up next, we have a Marquette Sports Report with Ross Gentry and Matt Gangwer.
Stay right here on MUTV.
Redshirt sophomore Bree Yeager has quickly gone from playing 18 minutes in the last 2 years on campus to over 800 so far this season. MUTV Sports breaks down the keys to Bree's early success.
As Marquette has gotten off to a 7-2-1 start, redshirt sophomore Bree Yeager has played a major part thanks to 2 key improvements. One is, as she described it, playing in the air. She is the one in position on this Beard free kick to take the header, although it was unsuccessful here against Illinois State. Let's take another look at her ability to get in position with her 5'9" height. She is the one taking the header on a Hess corner instead of more experienced players around her like Madison Dunker or Caroline Fink. The other key improvement is her physical presence and positioning. Here, her coverage of Emily Dickman limits Dickman's movement and forces a narrow shot path that goes right to Maddie Henry. Maddie Monticello initially has trouble on this play, and Bouguet is too far upfield, leaving only Yeager to field this one. Reporting from Valley Fields, I'm John Steppe, Marquette Wire Sports.
Keeping on the topic of soccer, the Marquette's men's soccer team dropped its Big East lid lifter for the first time since 2011, as Villanova came back to beat the Golden Eagles 3-1 Saturday afternoon. This is head coach Lewis Bennett's worst start to a season in his 12-year tenure at Marquette. Marquette is now 0-5-1 for the season, and it doesn't get any easier here for the Golden Eagles, as they will square off against Seton Hall this Friday.
The Marquette volleyball team is feeling good after their sweep over Southern Mississippi this weekend. For the second match in a row, setter Lauren Speckman tallied over 40 assists, while outside hitters Anna Hawk and Allie Barber both recorded double-digit kills. The Golden Eagles were also stellar defensively, holding Southern Miss under 200 for the entirety of the match. Marquette started another tough week tonight with its first Big East game of the season at Butler. MUTV Sports spoke with one of the players who's making a difference defensively on the court, senior Manon Goffrey, who came all the way from France to play volleyball.
Not many people can claim to have traveled over 6,000 miles for college. But French volleyball player Manon Geoffroy is one of them.
I came to the U.S. to play volleyball because in France it's really hard to combine volleyball and studies.
Geoffroy went from Metz, France to community college in Texas for her first 2 years, then transferred to Marquette as a defensive specialist.
I think where Minnie's doing an exceptional job to me is I've asked her to play right back, middle back, left back.
Those backline spots aren't the only roles Geoffroy will fill this season. If you look at volleyball's roster this year, you'll see that Manon Geoffroy is the only senior on it, although she says that doesn't add any extra pressure.
Last year, even though I was a transfer and I was new on the team, they kind of told me how to be a leader already.
She right away would go after balls and speak up about it, and so we needed that.
Occasionally, Geoffroy won't quite get there. But most often, she and the rest of the back row are right on time.
As a team, we played really well, and as an individual, my starts are being pretty good so far, so hopefully it stays that way.
With conference play on the horizon, Marquette volleyball fans are hoping so too. From the Al McGuire Center, Andrew Goldstein, Marquette Wire Sports.
Big announcement for the Big East. Marquette's basketball schedule is finally out. The Golden Eagles will only have 2 road games from January 9th to February 3rd, but will have a tougher stretch later in February. After the National Marquette Day, February 3rd, against Providence, Marquette will only have 1 other home game in February. The Golden Eagles will conclude the season against Creighton for their final regular season game inside the BMO Harris Bradley Center. Marquette will move into the Bucks' new arena when it opens in 2018.
That's all we have for Marquette Sports. Ricky and Grace will be back with more of your campus news after this.
Welcome back to Marquette Now.
We have just a few more updates left for you.
The Society of Professional Journalists announces former O'Brien Fellow Miranda Spivak won the Sunshine Award. She was presented with this award for her fellowship project entitled State Secrets. The award was given to her at the Excellence in Journalism Conference in Anaheim, California. Spivak has been in the process of conducting her study since 2015, and in her investigative series, she has uncovered information about government contracts, emergency plans, and police body camera footage.
There's nothing like being confident in your football team. However, that changes when it comes to fantasy football leagues. Even the most confident experience self-doubt. The pressure and excitement is intense, from pre-drafting a team to drafting a team to the actual football season. No one wants to have a losing team and risk losing a bet. Wyatt Stokesbury, a junior at Marquette, says, quote, even if you know who you want, you start second-guessing yourself. Time and preparation are put into the games, but at the end of the day, stats state it all.
Marquette's arts website has undergone a new makeover. In an effort to showcase the huge success brought about by our various on-campus art programs, the website has been redesigned to organize information about Marquette arts more clearly. Though this website makeover is nice, there's still a lot more work to be done in the university's end to make the arts more prominent and relevant on campus.
Art Club seeks to inspire creativity with new campaigns. It takes a different toll when it comes to using art. A chalk box, referred to as the Cube, is displayed outside the AMU, encouraging artistic engagement from students. The Art Club teams up with a campus project, the Art of Milwaukee, to create a community of like-minded artists. Julia Florini, the club head, along with Mary Rose Weatherman, co-head, mentioned there would be more collaborative pieces to which the campus community can contribute.
And that is all of your Marquette updates. For all the latest on news on Marquette campus, visit www.marquettewire.org and follow Marquette Wire on Facebook and Twitter. See you next Wednesday on Marquette Now. I'm Ricky Labrada.
And I'm Grace Terry. Good night, Marquette.